2016 seems like a long time ago, but on the 27th of September that year, two huge events happened in the footballing world. EA would release the best game they would ever make, FIFA 17, and Gareth Southgate was given the permanent role as England manager. In just over a month's time, Southgate is going to be leaving his job, but did he actually pick a team that could win Euro 2024 on his first attempt nearly 8 years ago? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. I've re-downloaded FIFA 17 and I've copied the squad that England had into the new Euro 2024 mode that just released on FC24. Before we can start, we will need to make a few changes because Rooney, Cahill, Sturridge and Danny Rose have all retired, so we're going to have to replace them with other players from the national pool at the time. That means Chris Smalling will be playing centre-back for us, Jamie Vardy probably on the wing, Dele Alli playmaking in midfield, and Luke Shaw remaining as a left-back. To be fair, the changes could have definitely been worse, because if he hadn't already retired, we would have actually been playing a 68 rated Danny Drinkwater ahead of the likes of Lallana or Dele Alli. A bench of Jake Livermore, Lingard, Forster and Lallana is somehow even less inspiring than our first 11. Just to make sure we have a full squad, we'll also call up some players that were called up later on FIFA 17, so not in the very first squad. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jesse Lingard, Ryan Cresswell and Michael Keane are all included in this list, and hopefully none of them are really going to play too many minutes. But let's see how England's FIFA 17 team gets on in Germany. Just like in real life, we're drawn in Group C alongside Slovenia, Denmark and Serbia, and even with this weakened side, England are still the best team in this group. There's one or two players from these three teams that would definitely get into our squad. Milinkovic-Savic would, and so would Jan Oblak. The first game of the tournament was in Gelsenkirchen. The Schalke Stadium doesn't have the best memories for England because Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal beat England on penalties here in the 2006 World Cup. The first thing we really needed to do was figure out how to attack with this team. Sure, we still have a 90 rated Harry Kane dropping deep, pinging passes around and just generally being really fun to use, but Jamie Vardy's lost about 20 pace since I last used him, and Raheem Sterling isn't quite as good as he was back on FIFA 17. If you were in charge of this team and you could replace one player, who would it be? I think Bellingham would definitely be the biggest upgrade in this squad, but let me know in the comments. It's quite clear that we are missing a creative player like a Foden, Palmer or Jude that would be in front of our midfield and helping Kane out, but Kane is just about able to inspire the first win in Gelsenkirchen. Frankfurt is another venue that hosted England back in 2006, but we need to hope that this game against Denmark is more entertaining than that 1-0 was against Paraguay. Some of you might not actually realise that Denmark are the only team in the group to have ever won the Euros, and their squad is quite old, but not actually that bad. This could actually be a surprisingly tough game. In this match, we're going to focus on our midfield because Henderson, Lallana and Eric Dyer is really not good, no matter what way you look at it. Their average pace is in the low 50s, but only Henderson has the stamina to help cover his lack of speed. Their mentalities are all still world class though. There's lots of aggression, lots of interceptions ability, and lots of composure. As a trio, they're almost ideal if you just want to win the ball back and give it to a more creative attacker or winger. And honestly, it was working surprisingly well. With no real superstars in the team, we were actually getting quite good at grinding out the wins, and this second win in 2 games saw us qualify for the round of 16 early. FC Köln's Rhein Energy Stadion was hosting Southgate's throwback squad for the last round of the group stage, and just for fun, we rested the majority of our best players. Joe Hart stayed in goal, but we had a back four of Cresswell, Keane, Stones and Klein, and this definitely counts as a throwback squad. As you'd expect, this match was actually a tougher challenge because we weakened our squad, but even though Slovenia attacked really well, we attacked even better, including one of the best goals of the tournament here from Marcus Rashford. Just like the other 2 games in the group stage, it was actually a lot harder than we were expecting, but we still got past Slovenia while giving some of our best players a decent rest. In the next round, we'd be playing a team that finished 3rd place in their group, so yet again, even with our quite bad England squad, we would still be favourites for this match. We were drawn against Romania, and yeah, even this version of England is actually way better than their strongest 11. We were playing in Gelsenkirchen for the 3rd time, and if we win this match, we'd also be playing our quarter-final match right here too. This squad really could have been the team that England were using at this Euros. I mean, back in 2016, if you'd have told me that a 28-year-old Raheem Sterling wouldn't have even made the 35-man squad, I would have definitely thought you were crazy. EA definitely agreed with me as well, because he had 88 potential on the week that we've taken this squad for this challenge. Despite never hitting his potential, Raheem Sterling was one of the few players in this squad that actually showed up for every single game. Raheem Sterling isn't the only player in this team to flop in real life. Michael Keane had 86 potential, but ended up playing at just 76. Rashford and Ali both actually had more potential than Sterling, but yet again, both missed out and were nowhere near actually getting in this England squad. It's not just potentials that have taken a massive hit as well, because I wish I still had access to the 82 rated Nathaniel Klein or the 83 rated Adam Lallana, because this match was actually a huge struggle. The quarterfinals always seemed like it was pretty much the limit for England, especially before Southgate took control, and it took a lot more effort to guarantee a spot in the final 8 in this challenge than it probably should in the real Euro 2024 tournament. With Schalke's stadium basically becoming our home ground at this point, we were actually drawn against the hosts Germany for the quarterfinals. This would be the last time we'd be playing in Gelsenkirchen, because hopefully our next 2 games would be the semi-final in Dortmund and the final in Berlin. Again, somehow, we actually had a higher rated team than Germany on overall, but there's no doubt that Germany had a way more meta squad. They had more pace, more agility, more strength and taller players, but we had a secret weapon. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. If you've not used them on FC24, you won't appreciate how good he can actually be on the ball, but just like in lockdown era Liverpool, we had a midfield 3 of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lallana and Henderson in this game against Germany. It does seem that Germany's team now is actually quite similar to the England team that I'm using. It's the clear end of a generation with Muller, Sane, Hummels, Kroos and Gundogan all coming to the end of their careers, while a couple of very high potential youngsters are starting to take over. Where we had Dele Alli, they have Musiala. Where we had Sancho, they have Florian Wirtz. Let's just hope they don't end up having the same downwards career trajectory. It turned out to be one of the craziest games we'd play in the entire tournament. We nearly collapsed from a 3-0 lead, but just about held on to qualify for the final 4. In a typical Southgate style, we went super defensive for the semi-final against Turkey. We ripped up the 4-3-3 that had got us this far and went back to the weirdly asymmetrical 5-3-2 that England ran in the 2018 World Cup. This was actually going to be Jamie Vardy's last ever England start, because his stamina meant that he wouldn't recover in time for any potential final match, but we gave him some Red Bull, some blue Smarties, and you couldn't tell that he was nearly 40 years old. Sure, one of the reasons he is still performing at this level was his international retirement at 31, but hey, he was in the squad back then, so I'm glad we aren't having to rely on Jesse Lingard being our backup striker. It seemed to work really well too. Jamie Vardy's goal just before half-time basically secured the win, and all things considered, this was actually a really low-stress way to qualify for the final. The other semi-final had Spain playing against Austria, so it wasn't too surprising we were facing the Spaniards, who were actually going for their 4th European Championship. But for the second time in 4 years, England had a chance to win their first championship. Could our team of FIFA 17 heroes keep up what they've started? The surprising breakthrough of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Harry Kane scoring in basically every single round, John Stones actually being suspended for the final. There were so many storylines going on into this match. We didn't quite get the start that we wanted, but after that, everything seemed to click. We figured out how good Rashford and Sterling actually fit in with Kane's playstyle of through balls. We figured out that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain was actually quicker than almost every other midfielder in the tournament. And we also figured out that having Eric Dyer or Michael Keane on the pitch resulted in us conceding a ton of goals. I think the entire nation is hoping that Southgate will figure his squad out soon too, especially with a possible starting centre-back combination of Konza and Dunk. Who knows, maybe in 2032 I'll be making a similar video and joking about how Kobe Mainu is now a 68 rated Doncaster player, or I'll be telling you that Reece James retired at 29 or Harry Kane went on to lift 2 World Cups. This Euro final was going a lot better than the last one. It was definitely more fun to watch too. Rather than 2 defensive sides, the early goal actually opened this match up. I'm not even sure what style you'd say I was playing with this England team. It's a mix between pure counter-attacking and just trying to keep possession near the other team's box. The game went into extra time, and this was really not good news for us, given that about half our team has less than 60 stamina. Our tired boys conceded early in extra time too, got a red card as well, but we still had Mr. Red Bull himself playing on the wing, and he was about to receive an absolute gift from Spain. After hoofing the ball past Emerick Laporte, Vardy was one-on-one with Unai Simon. He closed in on the goal, and the 37-year-old did not let FIFA 17 down. We were back in this match. We kept the build-up play going, trying to work the ball into Harry Kane, and when it finally reached him, he did the unexpected. A flick won him some space, and the unorthodox finish somehow beat Unai Simon. It was 4-3 in extra time. All we had to do now was hold on for another 15 minutes. Believe me when I say we kept attacking for that half too, but there was a serious lack of any chances in the last 15 minutes. The referee blew his whistle and we had done it. A team with a 71 rated Joe Hart, a back four of Walker, Stones, Smalling and Shaw, with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Eric Dyer and Jordan Henderson backing up Sterling, Vardy and Kane. He had won the Euros. Maybe Southgate really was onto a winning formula back in 2017, because if you add Declan Rice, Bellingham and Foden into this team, I'd say it would definitely be the favourite to win Euro 2024. As England lift the trophy, I wish I was as confident I'd be seeing the same thing happen in real life on the 14th of July. Let me know in the comments who you think the final and the winner will actually be, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a similar one here on the screen right now where I did a player career with Dele Alli that you might really like too, so check that one out. Cheers and goodbye.